This wasn't a courtroom. This was Walmart on Black Friday, and the customer screaming about emotional labor over a receipt. Today, we're counting down 49 dumbest Black Friday complaints, from "My TV judged me" to "The escalator moved too confidently," the guy who called the FBI because Apple wouldn't give him free iCloud. If you've ever returned something for no reason, argued with a self-checkout, or blamed capitalism for a $5 candy bar, smash that like button. Drop a comment. What's the dumbest thing you've ever complained about? And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it. Not for me. For the algorithm. It needs help. 1. A woman stormed into customer service holding a 65-inch TV box like it was evidence in a trial. She said the picture looked too real and gave her vertigo because the people on screen looked like they knew she was watching. She demanded a less judgmental model or a refund for emotional damage. When asked if the TV worked fine, she said yes, perfectly, which was part of the problem. Security tried not to laugh while printing the return form. She left smiling, declaring victory against artificial intelligence and promising to buy a projector instead. 2. A man returned a vacuum cleaner because it sucked too perfectly. He claimed it pulled up his carpet fibers and changed the Feng Shui of his living room. When the clerk explained that suction was the purpose, he said he preferred a gentle, spiritual clean. He then demanded a partial refund for emotional imbalance caused by excessive efficiency. The store manager offered store credit. The man refused, stating that store credit represented capitalism's control over household energy. He left muttering that he'd cleanse his apartment with a broom and a prayer instead. The vacuum sold again in 10 minutes. 3. A couple arrived at dawn furious because the store's Black Friday banner said up to 70% off, and they expected exactly 70% off everything. They bought a microwave discounted by 15% and called it false advertising. The husband said the sign should read mostly 15% off with occasional excitement. The wife demanded the manager rewrite the banner to match consumer expectations. When the staff declined, she announced she'd call corporate and the news. The husband recorded the argument on his phone for proof of injustice. They left without the microwave but bragged they'd fought for fairness in math. 4. A teenager brought back a gaming chair claiming it didn't match his aura. He said the red stitching interfered with his creativity and gave him bad luck in online matches. The associate asked if he wanted to exchange it for a different color, but he said the color wasn't the issue. The vibe was. He blamed the chair for lowering his kill-to-death ratio and ruining his confidence. He requested a vibe refund. The store refused. He sat in the floor sample chair, meditated for 30 seconds, declared himself cleansed, and left. His mother apologized to everyone in line. 5. A woman demanded a refund because her discounted air fryer's manual was too long. She said she expected simple cooking, not a novel. She refused to read any page beyond the first, claiming it was gatekeeping dinner. She insisted the store provide a 5-second tutorial or take the product back. When the clerk showed her an online video, she accused the store of promoting screen addiction. She wanted compensation for the mental exhaustion of seeing QR codes. When told refunds required the box, she said her husband turned it into a fort for their cat. She left whispering boycott. 6. An older man walked in with a laptop still in its box, shouting that the screen was broken because it showed nothing. The employee opened it, pressed the power button, and explained it needed to be charged first. The man crossed his arms and said any product requiring electricity on purchase day was a scam against seniors. He demanded a version that works right out of the box without big tech interference. When offered a charger demonstration, he accused the store of upselling. After arguing for 20 minutes, he left saying he'd write to the governor about laptop fraud. 7. A lady returned noise-canceling headphones claiming they made her thoughts too loud. She said when she put them on, she could suddenly hear her own breathing, her to-do list, and regret from 2003. The associate explained that meant they were functioning properly. She said silence should be peaceful, not judgmental. She requested a refund and a voucher for therapy. The store declined. She left the counter saying she'd file a complaint with the Department of Inner Peace. The next day, she posted a 1-star review online titled, "Headphones that exposed my soul." It became weirdly popular on Reddit. 8. A man demanded the store refund his Uber fare because the Black Friday parking lot made him emotionally late. He showed his phone receipt and explained the stress of circling the lot was equivalent to lost wages. When told the store doesn't reimburse transportation, he argued that Black Friday caused the traffic, therefore Walmart owes reparations. The manager offered a coupon. He said that was insulting to the working class and threatened to call a local podcast. He recorded himself leaving dramatically, saying, "This is for every man who couldn't find a spot near the cart return." 9. A customer complained that the store's Wi-Fi password, Black Friday 2025, was discriminatory against people who forget passwords easily. She requested a new one with emotional accessibility. When told it couldn't be changed, she demanded the store print laminated cards for all customers, so nobody felt left out. She said struggling to connect was a form of digital oppression. The clerk tried to help her connect manually. She said that was invasive tech behavior. She left claiming she'd tweet about the incident under hashtag Justice for Wi-Fi. Ironically, she couldn't because she never connected to the network in the first place. 10. A man returned a smart fridge because it judged his lifestyle. The fridge displayed low-calorie suggestions based on his groceries, which he called body shaming. He said it ruined his relationship with leftovers. He requested a full refund and emotional compensation for food insecurity caused by algorithms. When asked if the fridge worked properly, he said yes, and that was the problem. The manager offered to disable suggestions, but he said the fridge would still remember. He left swearing to only buy analog appliances. Later, he returned holding ice cream and said, "See, I'm doing self-care now." 11. A woman stormed into the store shouting that the escalator was moving too confidently. She said it rushed her life choices and made her feel pressured to ascend before she was emotionally ready. The manager explained it had only one speed. She said speed was a social construct and demanded a slower option for introverts. She filmed herself standing still on the step while everyone waited behind her. When security politely asked her to move, she said the escalator violated her boundaries. She left with a vow to only take stairs as an act of rebellion against mechanical arrogance. 12. A young man returned a Bluetooth speaker because it did not connect to his soul. He said he played meditation music, but felt nothing spiritual happen in his apartment. He wanted to exchange it for a more emotionally intuitive model that could understand heartbreak frequencies. The associate explained sound quality, but he said quality meant nothing without empathy. He also claimed the speaker was gaslighting him because it kept saying paired when he felt alone. He left holding incense and muttering about finding balance at a crystal shop. The speaker was later resold to someone who only wanted bass. 13. A woman complained that the store's mannequins were staring at her. She said their blank eyes were mocking her spending habits. She demanded that the mannequins be turned around or fitted with sunglasses to protect her privacy. The staff explained they were not alive, but she said awareness was a spectrum and accused them of silent judgment. She filed a written complaint labeled "Retail Harassment by Artificial Beauty Standards." When she left, she turned each mannequin to face the wall. Security turned them back later. The cameras caught her waving goodbye to them like ex-friends at a bad reunion. 14. A man insisted on returning a smart scale because it called him overweight. He said it was body shaming him and undermining his self-confidence. The associate explained it only displayed numbers, not opinions. He said numbers were opinions when feelings were involved. He demanded a refund for emotional trauma and claimed his BMI should include his personality. The manager offered store credit. He said store credit would not fix his inner child. He left dramatically, declaring the scale was part of a conspiracy against snacks. Later, he posted online that he replaced it with a mirror that never judged him. 15. A customer called corporate claiming the store's Christmas music clashed with her personal rhythm. She said the key of jingle bells triggered her seasonal fatigue and ruined her shopping energy. She requested that all music be tuned to a calming frequency approved by her therapist. The employee offered earplugs, which she called a temporary emotional bandage. She suggested the store hire a DJ with empathy training. When the idea was declined, she said she would start a petition called Silent Nights Matter. The store muted one speaker that day but turned it back on after everyone fell asleep. 16. A man demanded a refund for a coffee maker that brewed too fast. He said it stole the magic of waiting and cheapened his morning routine. He wanted a slower model that respected the ritual of caffeine. The associate said he could just pour water slowly. He said that missed the point of spiritual patience. He claimed society had become addicted to efficiency. The store manager asked if the machine worked. He said yes, but emotionally it failed. He returned it and bought a French press. 3 days later, he called to say plunging was too aggressive for his vibe. 17, a woman yelled that the line outside was discriminating against extroverts because people were standing silently. She said quiet waiting drained her social energy and demanded the store provide small talk facilitators. The security guard suggested she talk to people. She said that was emotional labor unpaid by management. She filmed herself trying to start a group chant about equality in lines. Nobody joined. She claimed the store suppressed community spirit. She left to write a blog titled The Death of Conversation. Later, she returned for a refund on socks, saying they failed to inspire meaningful dialogue. 18, a customer complained that the Black Friday sale started too early. She said waking up at 6 violated her circadian rights. She demanded the store pay for her lost sleep and coffee expenses. The clerk offered a $5 voucher, which she rejected as disrespectful to the human body clock. She insisted all major sales align with sunrise to support natural retail cycles. She recorded herself yawning as evidence of fatigue and said it would go viral under #LetMeSleepFriday. When leaving, she tripped on her shopping bag and blamed gravity for being corporate sponsored. The post got 6 likes. 19, a man returned a toaster because it reminded him of capitalism. He said every slice represented inequality since both sides could never toast evenly. He wanted the store to stop profiting from imbalance. The associate asked if he wanted to exchange it. He said equality could not be purchased. He demanded the store donate all toasters to the poor as a symbol of unity. The manager politely declined. The man gave a speech to nearby customers about socialism through breakfast. One clapped sarcastically. He left the toaster behind, saying it was his final act of resistance before lunch. 20, a teenager demanded a manager because the self-checkout told him, unexpected item in bagging area. He said the phrase was gaslighting him and triggering imposter syndrome. He asked the machine to use kinder language like, hey buddy, something feels off, but you're doing great. When the associate tried to help, he said humans should not interfere with his growth arc. He refused to leave until the self-checkout apologized. After 10 minutes, the line cheered when the machine beeped error again. He shouted victory and left smiling. He later posted a TikTok titled, Healing Through Retail, that went viral. 21. A man stormed in holding a broken umbrella, demanding a refund because it failed the test of consumer loyalty. He said it turned inside out in the parking lot, which he called betrayal by design. When the associate explained it was windy, he accused the weather of being part of a corporate plot. He wanted reimbursement for his soaked dignity. The clerk offered a replacement. He said replacements were capitalist distractions. He insisted on a handwritten apology from the umbrella brand. When told that was impossible, he left saying he would write his own apology and invoice them for therapy. 22, a customer complained that the shopping cart wheels squeaked out of rhythm. She said it disrupted her meditation walk through the store and caused unnecessary emotional friction. The associate offered another cart. She said the sound followed her spiritually and that the store's energy field was misaligned. She suggested playing whale sounds to rebalance the atmosphere. The manager nodded slowly and smiled. She took a deep breath and said she forgave the store, but not the cart. She bought one candle and left humming loudly to drown out the squeak that existed mostly in her imagination. Everyone clapped when she left. 23. A woman returned a candle because it smelled too peaceful. She said the lavender scent was so relaxing that she fell asleep mid-shopping list and forgot her goals. She claimed the candle sabotaged her productivity and demanded compensation for lost motivation. When the associate offered an exchange, she said she no longer trusted candles as a species. She wanted a candleless refund and emotional support for burnout caused by serenity. The store manager suggested coffee. She said caffeine was also manipulative. She left, leaving behind a handwritten note that read, I forgive peace but not capitalism. It smelled like lavender. 24. A man argued that the price tags were printed in an unfriendly font. He said the typography made him feel judged for being middle class. The associate explained it was standard design. He said Helvetica was elitist and demanded the store reprint all tags and Comic Sans for equality. The manager politely declined. He took photos for evidence and said he would file a design discrimination case. He walked out whispering that fonts should serve humanity, not control it. He later tweeted about his fight for visual justice and attached a blurry picture of a clearance sticker as proof. 25. A woman brought in a half-eaten pie demanding a refund because the box label said family size. But her family did not feel emotionally satisfied. She said it was misleading marketing of togetherness. When the associate asked how much was left, she said enough to symbolize disappointment. She wanted a full refund and a formal apology to her children. The store manager said the label referred to physical portion, not happiness. She said that was capitalism's excuse for everything. She left the pie behind as a protest. The bakery staff later finished it quietly and agreed it was emotionally average. 26. A man wanted to return a smart watch because it kept reminding him to stand up. He said it was micromanaging his life and encouraging rebellion against human rest. The associate showed him how to disable notifications, but he said silencing technology was emotional violence. He demanded a replacement that respected stillness. The manager said he could simply ignore the alerts. He said ignoring oppression was how empires fell. He threw the watch into his tote bag dramatically and left saying he would live timeless now. The next day he came back asking the time. Everyone pretended not to know. 27. A woman yelled at the electronics department because her phone charger did not make her feel connected. She said plugging it in was cold and transactional. She wanted a warmer, more nurturing experience from technology. The associate explained it only transfers energy, not emotions. She said that was the problem with modern society. She asked if the store sold compassion. He said no, but pointed to the customer service desk. She walked away muttering that empathy should come standard with every cable. Later, she left a review online saying her phone stayed dead, but her spirit felt heard. 28. A customer returned a blender because it was too loud and triggered his fear of confrontation. He said the sound reminded him of arguments from childhood. The associate apologized and offered a quieter model. He said the damage was already emotional and requested compensation for childhood memories resurfaced by corporate negligence. The manager offered a 10% discount on future appliances. He said healing could not be discounted. He left a note that said silence is golden unless capitalism interrupts. The blender later went on sale and was bought by someone who loved the noise. It sold out instantly. 29. A woman complained that the store's security camera was staring directly at her aura. She said she could feel judgment radiating from the lens. The guard explained it recorded everyone. She said equality in surveillance was still oppression. She demanded the store turn off the cameras while she shopped. The manager declined. She covered her head with a scarf and said she would spiritually block the feed. She later called corporate to report energetic harassment by technology. The footage showed her waving at every camera before leaving peacefully. Her scarf was upside down the entire time. 30. A man returned a coffee mug because it was labeled dishwasher safe, but he said that label gave him anxiety. He believed safety claims created false trust. He said no mug should promise survival in chaos. The associate explained it simply meant durable. He said durability leads to emotional detachment. He demanded a mug that embraced vulnerability. The manager offered a glass one. He said transparency was performative. He left with no mug but a deep sense of victory over industrial dishonesty. The next customer bought the same mug and said it was perfect. The universe stayed quiet. 31. A woman demanded compensation because her receipt was too long. She said it was an environmental attack and a personal insult to her time. The associate explained receipts were automatic. She said automation was the first step toward tree genocide. She requested digital proof instead. When emailed, she complained the message took too long to arrive. She said the internet had betrayed her patience. The manager offered to recycle the paper. She said that was performative guilt management. She left holding the receipt high like a protest banner against waste. Everyone clapped quietly because she was blocking the exit. 32. A man returned a robot vacuum claiming it was stalking him. He said it followed him from room to room with malicious intent. The associate explained it mapped the floor. He said mapping was surveillance. He demanded a restraining order against the product. The manager tried to show how to delete stored data. He said deleting memories was emotional cruelty. He left the store muttering about privacy rights for humans and appliances. The vacuum resumed cleaning in silence. That evening, he posted online that technology was plotting rebellion. His post was auto-flagged for spam and ironically deleted by a robot. 33, a customer argued the store should honor a coupon from 2010 because it represented timeless value. He said inflation was a myth invented by cashiers. The clerk said it was expired. He said truth never expires. He wanted to speak to the manager's manager's manager. The staff printed a new coupon for 10% off. He said that was modern bribery. He ripped it dramatically and said capitalism lost again. As he left, he tripped over a sale sign that said, "Value never dies." Security laughed quietly and the staff framed the expired coupon as a motivational reminder of patience. 34. A woman complained that the store's air conditioning was stealing her body heat. She said she could feel molecules leaving her skin without consent. The associate offered to adjust the vent. She said temperature changes were emotional manipulation. She demanded a thermal blanket and a written apology from the HVAC system. The manager smiled and gave her a coupon for a sweater. She said fabric could not heal betrayal. As she left, she muttered that modern air was weaponized against empathy. The staff laughed after she walked out. Ironically, she left her winter coat at the counter. It was donated later. 35. A man shouted that the price scanner beeped too aggressively. He said it was attacking his nervous system. The associate said the beep confirmed a scan. He said confirmation culture was toxic. He asked the store to change the tone to something affirming like gentle approval. The manager explained it was standard equipment. He said standardization kills individuality. He wanted the scanner replaced with a singing one. Security escorted him out politely. He left humming a calming tone to counteract trauma. Outside, he yelled to strangers that machines needed empathy training. No one listened because everyone wears earbuds now. 36. A teenager returned a discounted TV because it revealed dust on his furniture. He said the ultra clarity created existential dread by exposing imperfections in his life. The associate offered screen wipes. He said no wipe could cleanse the truth. He claimed the brightness forced him to confront personal flaws. He demanded a darker model that matched his emotional aesthetic. The manager offered a partial refund. He said he preferred denial. He left saying reality should come in low definition. Later, he posted an online review that read, "Picture too honest." It received hundreds of ironic 5-star comments. 37, a woman demanded the store cover her therapy bills because she slipped while rushing to a sale. She said gravity was intensified by greed. The associate offered medical assistance. She said first aid could not fix betrayal by physics. She wanted financial reparation for moral damage caused by shiny price tags. The manager offered a gift card. She said that was guilt money disguised as generosity. She stood up fine but said she felt spiritually injured. She left limping dramatically toward the exit. Security footage later showed she slipped on her own coupon booklet. She posted about it anyway. 38, a man called customer service to report that his blender was haunted. He said it started spinning by itself at midnight. The associate explained it was set to demo mode. He said no machine should act without consent. He requested an exorcism certificate or a full refund. The manager offered to reset it. He said resets erase trauma history. He brought it in wrapped like evidence. The technician pressed one button and it stopped. He gasped and said the demon was gone. He left proud of his bravery. Later, he emailed demanding royalties if his story became a movie. 39. A woman returned a scented candle claiming the flame gaslit her. She said it flickered judgmentally every time she spoke. The associate explained that was how fire worked. She said she knew manipulation when she saw it. She demanded a refund for emotional instability caused by unpredictable light. The manager offered to exchange it for an LED version. She said artificial peace was worse than betrayal. She left warning everyone to never trust elements that dance. The candle was placed back on the shelf and sold in 10 minutes. The next buyer said it burned perfectly. Balance restored quietly. 40, a man complained that the store's loyalty points expired too fast. He said it was a digital genocide of rewards. The associate explained the program resets yearly. He said time is a human construct and should not apply to points. He demanded lifetime validity as recognition of loyalty beyond mortality. The manager offered double points on the next purchase. He said that was emotional bribery. He left declaring he would never return until they honored eternity. 2 weeks later, he came back for another sale and used his old card. The points worked fine. Irony achieved perfect symmetry. 41. A woman demanded a manager because her shopping bag made her arm tired. She said the handles symbolized systemic strain. The associate offered to double bag it for comfort. She said that was enabling. She insisted the store provide emotional support cars for short trips. The manager thanked her for the feedback and smiled. She accused him of passive aggression and demanded training on empathy through retail design. She walked out holding the bag with both hands, muttering about societal pressure. The security guard offered to help. She said help was condescension. She drove away with the trunk open. 42. A man complained the store's logo looked angry. He said the sharp letters spiked his cortisol. The associate explained it was just font style. He said design language affects hormones. He wanted the company to rebrand using rounded shapes to promote peace. The manager offered a sticker shaped like a smiley face. He said that was infantilizing. He claimed his blood pressure rose whenever he looked at the sign. He took a selfie with the logo and said it was medical documentation. Later, he posted it online with the caption, "Visual Assault," and got 3 likes from design students. 43. A woman returned a blender set because the color name offended her. She said calling it Storm Gray was negative marketing that reinforced weather anxiety. The associate explained it was just a shade. She said shades shape culture. She demanded a refund for emotional rainfall. The manager suggested an exchange for sky blue. She said that was worse because it implied false hope. She left muttering that colors should be named after feelings, not disasters. Later, she bought the same blender online under a different brand name called Morning Fog. She left a 5-star review saying the vibe healed her. 44. A man walked up to electronics with a handwritten sign that said no tech should judge. He said his new smart TV kept suggesting fitness videos after reading his search history. The associate explained recommendation algorithms. He said algorithms were bullies. He demanded a refund and a written apology from the TV. The manager tried to reset it. He said resetting does not erase trauma. He promised to start a movement called Screens Without Shame. He walked out carrying the TV under his arm, chanting unplug judgment. Later, he tripped on the curb. The TV survived. His ego did not. 45. A customer claimed the store's LED lights were lying about her outfit color. She said her sweater looked calm blue at home, but anxious teal inside. She demanded the lights be adjusted to flatter customers equally. The associate explained lighting temperature. She said temperature was an excuse for bias. She accused the ceiling bulbs of gaslighting her wardrobe. The manager offered to dim the lights. She said that was symbolic censorship. She left shouting that truth had color. Later, she wrote a blog titled The Fluorescent Betrayal and ended it with a photo in black and white. It got attention. 46. A man called the store saying his gift card was emotionally invalid because the barcode reminded him of prison bars. He said scanning it triggered feelings of captivity. The associate offered to process it manually. He said touching the numbers was also traumatic. He requested the funds be transferred telepathically. The manager suggested he donate it instead. He said that would force his trauma on others. He ended the call saying he would meditate for compensation. The next day, he used the card online successfully. He wrote a review saying technology finally respected his boundaries. It confused everyone reading it. 47. A woman returned a pair of headphones because they did not match her zodiac energy. She said Mercury was in retrograde and the sound quality was judgmental. The associate asked if she wanted another brand. She said no headphones could align until the stars apologized. She demanded a refund and a birth chart reading from customer service. The manager offered a store credit. She said store credit was karmic debt. She left declaring she would listen only to silence until the universe stabilized. The next day, she bought the same headphones online. Mercury had apparently forgiven her overnight. 48. A man refused to pay for his new jacket because the mannequin wore it first. He said he would not buy used energy. The associate explained mannequins did not wear items emotionally. He said retail display was soul contamination. He asked for a discount for spiritual cleansing. The manager smiled and said no. He said smiling was denial. He stormed off wearing the jacket and said he was taking it to restore balance. Security stopped him. He said arresting him would prove capitalism fears purity. He paid and left quietly. The mannequin continued existing in peaceful indifference. 49. A man called the FBI because his new tablet did not include free iCloud storage. He said Apple and Walmart were running a data conspiracy against honest citizens. He demanded federal intervention for stolen cloud space. When the agent arrived to investigate, he realized it was just a confused shopper. The customer shouted about national rights to free memory. The agent laughed, bought a TV on sale, and left. The man declared victory for digital justice. The store banned him from tech sales. He posted online that he uncovered the truth. The internet agreed he needed offline time. And that's it. 49 realish, ridiculous, and completely unnecessary Black Friday complaints. Somewhere out there, someone is probably still yelling at a self-checkout for emotional abuse. If you survive this countdown without demanding therapy for your receipt, you're already above average. So here's your challenge. Drop a comment with the dumbest complaint you've ever heard or made, and I'll feature the best one in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Not for me, for the algorithm. It's crying in the break room again. This is Brain Fumble, signing off before someone files a complaint about my voice tone.